In 1914, the world clashed as the globe was thrust into battle. Into war. Like a half-played game of Jenga, the world teetered on the brink of destruction. One after another, countries fell into the war from the twisted alliances across Europe.
Colonies abroad were drawn into the war like moths to a flame. It was the Great War. After the defeat of the evil lords, the victorious forces of good sought a path to eternal light. To prevent another catastrophe, they created the League.
Okay, you all. I was the one who got your butts out of this war. I got you out of those darn trenches, and I expect a little something in return.
Fine, fine, fine. Whatever you want, my friend. As long as the evil lord shall pay for their actions.
Oui, oui, I agree. Germany must pay dearly for its evil misuse of its powers.
Behold, American power, go! The 14 points!
Gasp! Le gasp!
What is this? A League of Nations?
It is a symbol of our forces of good, a symbol of our unity. Together, the forces of evil will never again rise. All threats against our countries of good will be dealt with.
With my power of pasta, Italian power, andare.
With my country's power of berets, French power, allez.
With my empire's power of tea, English power, begin.
And finally, my country's power of...
Wilson!
Mother?
What in tarnation do you think you're doing?
I'm forming a superhero group.
Oh, no you don't, mister. Not until you finish your vegetables.
But Mom...
Don't you take that tone with me.
But it was my idea.
Because I said so.
I don't want to go.
Now you best come along, or else...
Stop it.
Finish your vegetables.
I'm sleepy.
Now. You're tracking mud all over the carpet.
Now where were we?
Unite!
With that, the League of Nations was born. Beyond these three, many others rose to the challenge, though some never could. And certain countries remained mandates throughout the League's span.
But the peace could not last. The evil lords, though defeated, were reborn as Axis lords. Members of the League were lured to the dark side. The alliance crumbled.
I'm leaving now to join the dark side and take over China.
Mon Dieu, what will we do? We have to save China.
They shall attack back! Wait. No army.
We should use America's superpower. Oh, I forgot that he was called back by his mommy. We have no strength.
And rats, that the few dummies we have left can't seem to agree on anything. Our rule that every decision must be unanimous is really setting us back. We can't decide what to do.
Now that Italy and Japan have betrayed us and become evil Axis lords, our powers are worthless.
This is my first time as a Frenchman that I have not been cool and utterly desirable.
Get over yourself, Frenchie. Everyone knows how great us Brits are.
Oui, but where is your British Empire now? In the toilet, just like this stupid league.
I know you are, but what am I?
Stupid, ton père, ton vache, mon mère. You are an idiot. What are you doing? Your British trash needs to get out of this place. You are stupid.
And as the world spun closer and closer to war, the League grew weaker. The world had sunk to the depths of depravity that they had hoped to never see again. Their powers had failed to prevent the very thing they had been created for. Another world war.
Japan invaded China. Germany invaded Poland. Total war was again afoot. All the League could hope was that by placing their powers in one, the forces of good could eventually prevail. Luckily, they won anyway. The forces of good again met to combine their powers.
I have brought you all to my fortress of San Fran Solitude for an important reason. Today, we draft a charter for the next generation of heroes.
We must remain united, for if one falls out again, we will all surely fall.
Only together will we have the strength to keep evil at bay.
We must combine our powers to give rise to our union of nations.
The United Nations. Quiet! Humph, insufferable. You all know what we must do. We must focus our powers together immediately.
Thus, the United Nations were born. Dedicated once again to keeping the peace, the UN held the forces of evil at bay.
The UN went on to do great things, but there were still arguments even among the good.
On the 65th anniversary of the creation of our world's superhero peacekeeping force, we look back on the span of the United Nations.
Die Kaltes Krieg geht wieder, während die USA und SU über Politik argumentieren. Streif ist groß mit diesen Mitgliedern von der UN Supergroup.
The UN continues to help AIDS-torn Africa. This horrific anti-inception dynamism syndrome is badly targeting the supers of the continent, even as medicine is being provided to many fledgling heroes across Africa.
More sanctions are placed today against North Korea as it continues artificial superpower testing. The UN supports the sanctions, condemning the recent attack on a South Korean vessel and North Korea's denial.
Only time will tell where our supernatural international protectors will go from here.
I'm Brian Williams, NBC News. Good night.